All right, welcome into the Christian Men's Illustrated podcast. Once again, a two-man show. No Greg Walden. Just wait, where'd the sad music come from? All of a sudden, that's
Greg.
wow. That's like
that's
prophetic, man. The sad music flowing in there. No Greg Walden, just Jake Waters and I here, and just scheduling. So shout out to Coach Prime. I got to see you. If you're watching online, I got the See You Buff shirt on. I got the gold. I realized I had the platinum chain. I had to get the gold chain.
Yep.
Shout out. I got the gold watch, the gold ring on, all of it.
It's all blinged
It's
out.
all real too. Totally real.
Dang.
Temu gold. So shopping like a billionaire. You heard that song. That's what I do, bro. I shop like a billionaire on that Temu. And I have a good time with, like, Temu was like, I never buy anything. Well, I have before, but mostly there's like, they do all these deals, you know, that they get you with. Like, so I hardly ever spend anything more than like $8 or $10 for one item.
Right.
And I'll just get like a couple, try it out and everything. So
Yep.
anyway, a Temu, I'm game for the Temu, so you can check it out. So anyway, so yes, the sad music playing for Greg Walden, but let's dive into it. We talk about stuff Christian men love, guys love in general. And once again, we're in the thick of it. So some of our talk is going to be sports talk. So NFL weekend again keeps turning. What were your initial responses coming out of another week in the NFL? It was officially week number 5 in the NFL is what we had. So we're not done yet. The Chiefs are going to play tonight, so we can't really speak to that. But there were some interesting games. So we had a big London game. My Vikings, 5-0.
Yep.
Beat the New York Jets. Aaron Rodgers, 3 interceptions. Things are going bad in New York Jets.
Did you watch that game?
I just saw some highlights.
It was pretty rough.
It was okay.
Well, for Aaron Rodgers.
Well, I don't think he likes the head coach.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I don't think he likes the head coach, and I think he's going to get fired very soon.
The coach?
The head coach of the New York Jets, Soriano.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that was a big game. The Bears get a win. So Caleb Williams is starting to find himself as a rookie quarterback in the NFL. They get the double of the Panthers. Not really a big win, but the issue is the Bears now 3-2. Yep. Caleb Williams, the number 1 draft pick, starting to look more like himself. The Bengals now 1-4 get beat by the Ravens, who are 3-2. So they said pretty much there's only been 1 or 2 teams in history that have gone 1-4 and have ever made the playoffs. So sad news, I don't think the Bengals, if you are a Bengals fan, is going to make the playoffs.
Right. You like Joe Burrows?
I like Joe Burrow. Injury prone. And sadly, their offense looked really good. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't an issue that their offense didn't look good. It's just they lost by a field goal. So what else do you say? Your Dolphins, they get a win.
I don't know how. I didn't even check in on that, but I saw that they did win.
15 versus the Patriots, so not saying very much.
Right.
So they're T. Huntley, their quarterback right now. And again, I don't think much is going to happen there. Tyreek Hill had 6 receptions for 69 yards, but what a dumb mistake by Tyreek Hill to leave the Kansas City Chiefs. But you got to get that money, man.
Yeah.
You got to get the bag.
Yep.
So.
Did you see Devontae Adams is trying to get to the Jets?
I did see that, yeah.
Yep.
Listen, I'm a pastor. I always say, listen, if Joel Osteen called me, I'm going, man. Just kidding. How much we talking, Joel? How much we talking here, buddy? I would never leave you, Jake. I would never leave for Joel Osteen. So anyway.
Okay, good.
I don't think I could submit to his authority. I'd be like, listen, man, I need to be the leader, and we'd get in a fight, and so I'll just stay here.
Yeah.
At Grace Point. Commanders. I think that's a big team.
Yes.
The Washington Commanders, they did beat the Browns 34-13. Colts Jaguars get a win over the Colts, but there's a lot of I still think there's a lot of trashy teams in the NFL overall right now.
Yeah.
Teams that you thought were going to be really good. Bengals, Ravens, that are just even the Bills, right? Everyone was jumping on the Bills bandwagon. They get beat 23-20. So all of a sudden it's like Josh Allen is MVP, and now he's like, everyone's just diving off of that.
Yeah, from what I saw,
Josh Allen bandwagon. 49ers get beat 24-23 by the Cardinals.
No.
So a lot of people were high on the 49ers.
Yep.
Again, I was pretty much in like, well, is it going to be a repeat?
Right.
Niners, Chiefs, maybe. I mean, I can't remember what my original picks are now. So yeah, we get things like the Rams. I love to watch the Rams. I love their coach, Coach McVay. Mm-hmm. But the Packers beat them. The Rams are 1-4.
Yep.
Then you get things like the Seahawks. Oh man, they're looking good. Then you get beat by the Giants.
I know.
29-20.
Their defense sucks.
Yeah. And then, so I typically watch the Sunday night game for sure. Thursday night game I catch.
Yep.
Sunday night game I catch. I don't get a lot of because of the mid-afternoon. I'm kind of resting. I don't get a lot of the earlier mid-afternoon games in the NFL. I will get some of the late afternoon games in or watch some of it, and then some of the Monday night typically. But so anyway, I did watch most of the Steelers-Cowboys game. Did you watch this game?
No.
Okay, so the Cowboys get the dub over the Steelers. And the Steelers, again, they were 3-1 going into this game. So everyone's like, oh, man, hey, take it easy about the Giants. my guy Israel, the best bass player in the world, chiming in. Thank you, Israel. You are the best bass player in the world. I know you love the Giants, bro. I know you love them. But anyway.
They need to win.
They need a QB. I don't believe in them.
Jones they got?
Yeah, Jones. So the Steelers lose, and this quarterback thing is weird for me, all right? So I don't know what the Steelers want to do with their quarterback. They got Russell Wilson on the sidelines.
He's their third string, I think, right now, right?
Right, yeah. So anyway, and they're Justin Fields, their current guy that they got from Chicago.
I think he's doing good.
Yeah, but this game he looked bad.
Yeah.
This is the first full game I watched him, and I was like, wow, this guy's not a good quarterback.
Yeah.
So I don't know what they'll do there because they keep saying that they're going to slide Russell Wilson in there at some point.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a little bit of what's going on in the NFL. So I'm happy. My Vikings undefeated.
Yep.
And then we still got the Chiefs. I don't know. What do you think? I think the Chiefs are going to get the win tonight. Just keep plugging along. Again, they're the Patriots.
I know.
They're the Patriots now.
They're due for an L.
You think that? I don't think it's yet. Not yet.
Okay, I think the Saints are good. I think the Saints got a good chance of beating it, but I mean the Chiefs are really good.
All right. College football. I got the Colorado Buffs. All my Nebraska family are like I am the wandering son. I'm the prodigal son when it comes to that. I've left the land of Nebraska. So Oregon, they get the dub over Michigan State. The big one was Alabama getting beat by Vanderbilt.
Okay.
The upset, 40-35. You know what one of my dreams is, like sports dreams? I want to be at a game where you tear down the goalpost. Wouldn't that be awesome? How did they do that? Like, what is it? I didn't have time to YouTube that. How do you tear down a goalpost? Is it just cemented in?
It's got to be, but
the
probably
ground
6 foot at least.
And they took that goalpost like downtown, too.
Really?
Like I want to be a part of that. I want to tear down a goalpost. I think that's super cool. But Vanderbilt 40-35 in that like upset of the century. They go crazy, tear down the goalpost. Ohio State, I'm just doing top 25 right now. They get the win over Iowa. Tennessee loses to Arkansas. So they were number 4 seed in the country. Tennessee, they get beat by those Hogs just south of us here, Southern Missouri. Arkansas is a tough team. I'm not sure where they're at. Georgia gets a win over Auburn, 31-13. Penn State, 27-11 over UCLA. University of Miami in Florida, they get 39-38. And then here was another upset. Texas A&M, good thing we don't got the shirts on right now that we just bought.
They got Missouri.
Mizzou Tigers get beat 41-10. So again, everyone's jumping off the Mizzou bandwagon. They're like, oh, this team is legit. I don't know. I think Mizzou, if they finish in top 25, you're happy with that.
Yeah.
Top 15, get close there. You should be somewhat happy. Minnesota gets beat. Oh, here's another upset. Minnesota beats USC, who was number 11 in the country. So that's an upset there. Ole Miss beats South Carolina. Clemson beats Florida State. Iowa State, 43-21. Boise State, 62-30. Beats Utah State. Boise State, they're the ones with the blue field. Have you ever seen that before? Check out Boise State's field. Their home field is blue. It's blue turf. It's really gnarly. But they've always had explosive offense. And we have SMU beats Louisville. They weren't ranked. So we had some upsets in the college football season. Very, very interesting. Did you have any hot takes from the college football week?
Did CSU win or no? Colorado State?
They're not in the top 25, so I'm not totally sure what they are there. Anyway, Colorado, the Buffs did not play. Nebraska got the win, so they're 5-1 now. I'm like, how are these guys not in the top 25? So we'll see what happens there. I was going to pull up the polls real quick if it pull up for me, but it's not coming to me. Yeah, so there were upsets there. The big one being that big Vanderbilt over Alabama, which is the big one. I will touch just briefly on NBA. Dude, this is such a weird time of year. The NBA preseason has already started.
Really?
Yes, isn't that weird?
How long does NBA go on for?
NBA championship finals is usually about June. So, so they preseason, the official season starts Halloween night, November 1st. And then, so the only thing I wanted to say from that is LeBron and his son Bronny step on the court officially for the first time in their second preseason game versus the Phoenix Suns. So it is official. Bron and Bronny playing together on the court.
So his son
Father,
plays?
son. Yeah, his son plays, yes. So father, son.
Both on the same
makes
team.
history. They're on the same team, Lakers. Bronny doesn't look that great. He did score like a layup, but he did have this hasn't happened yet. His dad dished him the ball for a three-pointer. He bricks it. He didn't make the three.
Oh, dang.
But anyway.
That's
there
cool,
you go.
though.
But like it's so weird. It's really because I love the NBA more than the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
But at this point in the season, it's still hard for me to transition, to get excited about it. And it's similar to the NFL where it doesn't mean anything, right?
Okay.
So, yeah, it's like my son is like, son, Kaya, calm down, buddy. Calm. The preseason doesn't matter, okay? So you could go and whatever because the Chiefs, right? Like he loves the Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think the Chiefs won any games in the preseason, did they?
I don't know.
I think they went 0-for in the preseason. Don't pay attention to that. All right, let's move away from sports, guys, although we do love talking about sports. So we'll keep rolling along the way. The NFL will just continue to be exciting. Elon Musk partners with Donald Trump, man. Didn't you see this? Elon rather, makes an appearance alongside
at
Donald
Pennsylvania.
Trump. Yeah, so Mr. Musk, the world's richest man and the leader of Tesla and X, delivered a dark warning during an animated appearance at former President Donald J. Trump's rally. This is clearly liberal. What is this? New York Times. Okay, that's why I was like, what? Yeah, clearly we already know where this article is going. But Elon Musk, the billionaire head of Tesla and SpaceX, strode onto the stage to cheers at Donald Trump's rally on Saturday night, lifted his arm above his head, and jumped into the air twice, exposing his navel.
Oh, my God.
As his shirt rode up. Oh, my goodness. Come on, guys. Can't we just like write real stuff? My goodness. This clearly, I know I'm conservative, but guys, come on. So wearing an Occupy Mars shirt, which I want to get that one. Occupy. That's the new shirt. We got to get that one to rock.
Okay.
Next, Occupy Mars. Let's get one of those. Underneath his sport coat, he nodded to his black Make America Great Again baseball cap. As you can see, I'm not just MAGA, I'm dark MAGA, he said. So I don't, whatever. I'm not going to read any more of this article. You're like such losers, New York Times. Come on. So anyway, basically he was there to promote Donald Trump, and that's a big deal.
Yeah, it is.
That's a big deal. So I don't know. Again, these polls are so weird and wacky. What do you think of polls? You guys listening online or listening? What do you think of polls? I mean, some people, I think they have to consider them.
Yes.
But once again, it's kind of like getting
they got
called.
like 100 people in one room, and they're all Democrats. Like, what do you think?
Yeah.
And so
have you ever got called on a poll?
No.
Never.
No.
Who are? It's like, who are these people?
It's everybody in their studio, I think.
Right. These are not real people.
No, I don't think so.
They're either
bots.
real people or they're paid people for whatever side.
Yeah.
Because I'm just saying, like, why is it? It's confusing. This is why we can't find truth anymore, right? It's like, as much as I'm conservative, right wing, it's like all they do is promote the polls that say Trump is going to win.
Exactly.
And the left side, they just show all the polls that say Kamala is going to win.
Yep.
So who are these people? I want to be on a poll. It's
Yeah, I do too.
I'd equate it to jury duty. I've never been on jury duty, like in my entire life, but I know it happens. It's a real thing.
Yeah.
But I don't know. So there you go.
I would feel a lot better about the polls, like you said. Like if we were actually invited to one, then
Right. Occupy Mars shirt. Where can we get one? Temu, do they have that
Amazon.
or whatever? So we'll have to get one of those, see how much they cost. They're only $20 on Amazon.
nice.
We can afford that. Here's a $9.99 on Walmart. So let's get that, Jake.
Yep.
Okay. Next up, we've had a lot of people dying lately. We celebrated the death of, celebrated the life of Darth Vader. James Earl Jones, he passed away. But you like the show. You guys like how many of you guys like the show American Pickers? Did you ever get into that one?
Yes, that was one of my favorite shows. Frank died.
Frank died from American
died,
Pickers.
man.
Now, I grew up in a family that my grandpa, he collected everything. Pencils, real tractors, like a handful, toy tractors,
Yep.
old cars, old car parts,
Yep.
watch it, pens. Like, he had it all, dude.
Yeah.
So I left that. I had to abandon that spirit in my family. It's like, I can't be collecting stuff like this. I have had some period of collecting. Like, for example, I was at what's the Vintage Stock? I don't know if that's a national store or not. Like, I collected, here's where I got burnt out. From 89 to 93, I collected baseball cards. kept them nice in the inserts. Sadly enough, that was the most mass-produced era of sports memorabilia ever.
Right.
So they're not worth anything,
Right.
any of them. So, but anyway, that was my sports collecting. But where am I going with this? Oh, the American Pickers. It's a fun show to watch, man.
Yeah.
Like just diving in there and finding random treasures and stuff like that.
Yep.
That would be a cool show to be a part of.
Yeah, it would. I think me and Rachel probably watched every episode of it.
Now, when I was searching this out a little bit, one time I read an article where they tried to say they were like gay.
What?
They were a couple.
No.
But he's married, and I'm like, I don't believe that
I
one.
can see like him and Danielle.
Yeah, I don't.
know?
But anyway, so the show's still going, though, I think, is my understanding. But yeah, so sad that Frank died. He collected the oil cans.
Yep, and the little cars. He liked
the little cars,
the metal, anything like little airplanes or metal toys. He was really into toys.
Yeah, but I saw that and I was like, that's sad. American Pickers.
Yep.
Guy is gone. So
I was sad too.
Well, let's get into some spiritual talk here today. So I threw this out on Sunday night when I was at church. So this will be new to you, but so we have this missions conference over the weekend, and we got Panda Express for the main dish, some catering from Panda Express, which if I bore you with this story, fine guys, but it's fun. So like you should always be leery when you order a large catering order online.
Okay.
Okay. So like I would just suggest in general, make a follow-up call.
Okay.
Right. So I order a large catering order from Panda Express. And I'm thinking, cool, I'm ahead of the game. My wife, I'm not as detailed as my wife, but I do it a week early. But as I hit enter, right, and put the card in, I'm like, man, I hope this happens, right?
Yeah.
That there's no problems. So sure enough, like 3 days later, I get a fraud alert from our credit card company that says, because I actually have a great credit card company that like if there's ever weird expenses that you've never used that are big ones, they'll fraud it.
Yep.
But then they shut down my card until I call or text back saying this is me, not a fraud. Right. So anyway, a few days go by, I get the fraud alert, and it's like Friday, I finally call back and get it unlocked and stuff like that. So then Saturday, I'm driving to a local city called Springfield, and I'm like, dude, I better call. So I call Pan Express. Hey, I made an order under Jeremiah Johnson, a large catering order. They're like, I don't see that. We don't see that. I was like, what? So I'm like, can I talk to a manager? Then we get the manager. She's like, okay, I see it. I hear it here. Okay. I'm like, okay, I need it tonight at 5:00. I got a big event, please. I'm like, do I need to re-enter it on the app? I did it on the app.
Yeah.
Do I need to pay for it again? Whatever. I need to make sure it's at 5:00.
Yes.
So that night I go 4:00. No, I leave it. Yeah, I'm going to pick it up at 5. I leave at like 3:30. I'm getting early. I'm on the ball here.
Yeah.
So sure enough, 4:00, someone calls me from Pan Express. They're like, now, did you have an order with us? I was like, yeah, I have like a big catering order. And they're like, we don't have that. And I was like, well, I talked to someone this morning and I told her the whole story and it happened.
Okay.
It ended up happening, but yeah, super nervous. So the moral of the story is if you make a large catering order on any of these apps, you should probably follow up with a phone call just to verify.
Maybe a couple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, all that to say is I don't really base my theology off fortune cookies like my Christian theology. Do you? I don't. But
no.
I do read the fortune cookie. I'll be honest. I'll read it just for fun. Mm-hmm. Do you read the fortune cookie?
Yeah, they're usually statements now.
Yeah, they're usually just statements. And my boys, like, it's a popular thing for people to be like, say in the bathroom when you read it. Have you heard of that before? Uh-huh. Like you'll be rich and prosperous in the bathroom. You just put in the bathroom and then just laugh about it.
Yep.
So anyway, we're sitting there and we have this missions conference. And what was weird is this missionary brought 2 Evangel University students. And keep in mind, I was a youth pastor in California like 20 years ago, my first job in ministry. This missionary brings 2 students with him.
Okay.
Guess where this girl's from? She's from California.
The place
she's from Susanville, California.
Okay.
And she's from the church that I worked at in Susanville, California.
That's crazy.
I know her family super well.
Really?
Her brother's in my youth group. I know her. She hung out at my house with my daughters as a kid.
That's crazy.
And she's standing there.
Wow.
I was like, this is so weird.
Yep.
So I opened the fortune cookie. I'm just like, we're having a great night. God's good. We're giving the mission to God. And I open up the fortune cookie and it says, relish this moment.
What?
Yeah. So I was like, this is awesome,
Yep.
So all I'm trying to say is like, I like to take thoughts like the world says or whatever, and then like, what does the Bible say about that? Because I think there's something to be said of that. So, Ephesians chapter 5, verse 16 says, make the most of every opportunity in these evil days. Colossians chapter 4, verse 5 says, make the most of every opportunity. Okay. And so I think it's, like a lot of these entrepreneurs say, like embrace the moment, right?
Right.
Another one would be a UFC fight. I was listening to this UFC fighter, and he said like a referee like did something and he was mad about it, and he kind of got out of the moment.
Right.
And he got distracted, he got knocked out. But there's this power of staying in the moment that you'll hear athletes talk about.
Yep.
Stay in the moment.
Yep.
Don't get distracted. And I think there's something biblical to that as followers of Christ.
Absolutely.
That we need to make sure that we make the most of the opportunity in front of us.
Yep.
For a lot of reasons. Number one, we don't know if today is our last day. 100%. This could be the last podcast we ever do. Mm-hmm. This could be the last time that our voice ever goes out to the internet.
Yep.
Anyone. I could drive home and get blasted by a car. I'm dead.
Yep.
And this would have been my last opportunity. That's crazy to think about, right?
It is.
I think about that when I'm leading worship, when I'm on a mission trip, when I'm preaching. This could be my last sermon ever. Mm-hmm. Am I going to make the most of it, this opportunity?
We have to.
And the Bible says, yesterday's gone. Tomorrow's not here yet. Today's your opportunity. So, when I was reading that, relish this moment. It's like, God, help me to make sure that I'm living in the moment as a follower of Christ.
Good.
That I'm right where I'm at now. This is my moment.
Yep.
Whatever, I might have a trip planned. Oh, I'm going to Africa next year. It's not here yet.
Yep.
I don't even know if it's going to come. But I do know I have a moment right now. Mm-hmm. And I need to, as a follower of Christ, I need to do better in living in the moments that God gives me, right?
Yeah.
So, because sometimes I'm just running around, and it's the micro. I'm talking the micro is like I feel bad, like in our community. You just said it, like I'm popular, right? I was on the radio or the TV. Yeah. No, anyway, but I was like, so the other day I was in sometimes I'll go to Dollar Tree before my mid-afternoon bus drive. And I always forget there's people there, like there's workers there that know me. Like I'm just going fast. One time I was checking out, this lady's like, how was your trip? I just got back from Mexico. Mm-hmm. How was your trip? Like, how would you know that?
Yeah.
Once you social media, she saw.
Yep.
Dude, I was barely thinking about saying hi to her.
Exactly.
What if that, what if that would have been a moment she needed, like a word from the Lord? Mm. What if that would have been a moment of ministry and I was so busy, like, hey, got to go, see you later.
Yep.
So I'm thinking about that. I'm thinking like that's important as followers of Christ, right?
Yeah.
Because even that girl from 20 years ago, I'm like, do you remember me? She's like, yeah. I'm like, is it good? Like, you have, right? Because back then that was my moment 20 years ago.
Yep.
My moment was a youth pastor.
Gotcha.
Moments with young people. So like, did I make the most of that? Mm-hmm. Dude, those young people I ministered to, were they like, man, dude, he loved Jesus.
Dude was on point.
He preached. Yep. He invested. He sowed into my life. Blah, 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 blah. Right?
Yep.
Or was it like, I don't know, he was okay. Mm-hmm. And I'm not asking, like, I know some people are not going to like me as a pastor, right? I mean, not everyone's going to walk into the church I pastor and be like, oh man, he's so amazing, blah, blah, blah. But I just have to say, as followers of Christ, let's live in the moment.
Absolutely.
And what you have now is what you have right now, So it's like, I know some Christians, they're so busy thinking about the future. Oh, I want to do this. I want to be this.
Yep.
I don't know. You might not ever be that.
Exactly.
You might not ever get there. Mm-hmm. So just enjoy this moment.
Yeah, like you're saying, you might not even get tomorrow.
Everything that you do is unto the Lord. Is another one that I've lived by. Like just
that's good.
Those the two I think especially as people workers, everything you do is unto the Lord. Make the most of every opportunity. Mm-hmm. So like it's sometimes at church, like I'm not afraid. Like I'll clean the carpet, mop the floor. I'll do all that stuff, man.
Yep.
And I'll have people come in sometimes and help out with that. And I'll say like, hey, there's just one rule. Everything you do is unto the Lord.
Yep.
So like mop that floor like Jesus is watching.
Yeah, exactly.
Whatever, there's a moment. Yeah. Sometimes I'm on the stage. People are looking at me, listening to me. Feels good. It's a drug, right?
Right.
I like it, but that's a moment. That's not the only moment. It's not the only moment that matters in my Christian walk, So it's like, I was just thinking of that, like just, number one, relish the moment. Like I was just thinking like that girl, like, dude, she's a missionary now. She's talking about how she's chasing the call of God. And I was a part of her journey.
That is super cool.
I was a part of that, right?
Yep.
She's standing up, she's crying. like, I want to be a missionary. I was a little girl, like growing up in church, and like I was there.
That's dope.
Like I was one of those people put in her path.
Yep.
Hopefully I like, you right?
Yeah.
So this is what I'm talking about. Like in our journey of faith is like, you're going to be put in people's lives for a reason and a purpose.
Yep.
And hopefully I'm sure I have missed out. I'm sure I have missed out on opportunities to minister to people. But so I say thank you to the fortune cookie from Panda Express for opening up my don't live your theology off fortune cookies. I don't strongly recommend that. But anyway.
But how cool is that? I mean, such a small world. It's definitely a God thing that it came full circle.
Yeah.
This year, you know?
Yep. And it was encouraging. Like I said, that's the point, man. Like when we're super old someday, like one dude in our church that I love, Jerry Carnes, like this 90-year-old dude. Like I want to be that 90-year-old dude that was like, man, I've just been going hard for like 70 years doing this Jesus thing. And right. And who knows? Like and we don't know eternity. So, I mean, we hear those conversations of, when we get to heaven, oh, that dude from Africa is going to come up and say like, oh, thanks, Jeremiah. Whatever. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
It sounds good. I like it.
No,
I don't know. I don't know if it'll flush out exactly like that, but I do think that is going to be something like that. I love the story. I digress. One time I was preaching in Mexico, and this older pastor, kind of like retirement age from New Jersey. And he's like, okay, let me tell you something. One day we're all going to be in heaven, and there's going to be this campfire. We're all going to be sitting around. There's going to be 2 circles around that campfire. There's going to be one in the middle, one on the inside, and one on the outside. The one on the inside, that's going to be all the people who stepped out in faith and did what God told them to do. And they're willing to just take radical stuff. And they're going to be telling the stories of all the things they did for the Lord. Now that outside circle, those are going to be the people. They're going to be the people. Yeah, they made it to heaven. They put their faith in Jesus, but they didn't live radical lives of faith. And they'll have to listen to our stories. It's a good illustration. I like it. I was like, yeah, they're true. So basically he's just saying like, hey man, just keep taking opportunities for God, keep stepping out in faith, and you'll have all these amazing stories of what God does in your life. Do you want to be here's the summation. Do you want to be the Christian that tells the stories or listens to the stories?
Right. I want to be telling.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. I love people. I get jealous when I hear people that tell awesome God stories in their life.
Yep.
Like I want those. Like I want to do that. I want to do more of that. So, I mean, that's why I try to do mission trips and, do as much ministry as I can. So I don't want selfishly cool stories, but that's just a result, right?
Yeah.
That's just a result of following Jesus and doing ministries. Super cool stories come out of it. You meet amazing people. It's just an awesome life. So wrap it up for us, Jake. Your opportunity, think.
My opportunity.
You could have ignored the opportunity to come to Missouri.
Ooh, the whole thing was a God thing. I love being here. I even think about it, like I was thinking about it today. It was totally a God thing. Just the amount of blessings that we have. And like, I was thinking about different jobs that I had applied to before I got this job. And granted, this job's not perfect, but the places where I was like, oh man, I'm glad I didn't get that job. Or there was separate places, you know what I mean? Different factories. And I was like, he got me and put me right exactly where I needed to be. Like everything and every step of the way was just perfectly lined up for him. So, and I was even telling myself, thank you for the job that I have. Thank you for being alive. And like, I just even like my breath, like to go and just
amen.
Feel air.
Right. Right.
Just thankful for him. Yeah.
I'm not trying to exaggerate, but I felt, because sometimes people, when you're like, you say God spoke to you, you're like, well, was that a real voice? And I explain like, it's all of it. Like I sense it, feel it, hear it. Like, I mean, sometimes when I get a word from Lord, it's like everything. Mm-hmm. So, but like one time a couple times ago, I was in Mexico and I'm there worshiping and just like, again, when I get in, especially on a mission trip, I have these moments where I just of reflection. It's like, holy cow, my life is awesome. Like what? This is amazing. I'm like doing ministry in another country, another people group. And I've done this like 30 some, whatever.
Right.
Like, and it's like, it's just like all these pictures, like, and it's like, just like stopped at this moment. It was like everything in my life led to this moment.
Yep.
if I would have made that step, I wouldn't have made that step. If I wouldn't have made, and the good and the bad.
Yep.
So that's what I want to tell people on the redemption side of God thing is like, God can work it.
Yes.
For your good.
Yep.
God can redeem our stupidity.
Absolutely.
He can redeem our mistakes. So like in that picture, I didn't see all good pictures.
Mm-hmm.
It was like success, failure, mess up, but still all of that.
They're all
God
guiding you
redeemed
in the direction.
And used, right?
Yep.
So praise God, man.
Praise God, 100%.
Relish the moment, bro.
Yes.
I'm going to be doing that this weekend when the Colorado Buffaloes beat Kansas State. No, just kidding. And on a sports note. My wife's not listening, I don't think, so I can make a sporting reference. All right, guys. Christian Men's Illustrated. Hey, YouTube, Facebook, Spotify. That's where we're at right now. We appreciate the subscribe or the follow on any of those, and we'll talk to you next time.